Welcome back to our Instagram Live group fitness. I have Dylan here with me today to help out, so I can show some more demonstrations with him. I think we're going to focus on hips today. Sounds good for me. Hips. I don't really have a class to ask at home. Oh, I guess, can we get suggestions from them on like what they want? Maybe next time. But hips for today. So we're going to start in a widening child's pose. So starting to open up into the hips. Coming forward on the hands and knees, bringing the big toes to touch. Sending the knees out to the width of the mat. And then pressing the sit bones back to the heels. Sending those arms up overhead. Really pressing palms down into the mat. And gently resting the forehead down. So we're really focusing here on trying to create a little more space like underneath the armpits. I'm like, it's so nice to have you here. I can show on Dylan. And we're really focusing here on trying to press those sit bones back to the heels, breathing into the back, and noticing how the body's feeling. Maybe noticing if the hips are feeling pretty tight, which they probably are from sitting around doing nothing at home. So just deepening the breath here in through the nose, really expanding into the ribs, and noticing how it feels in the hips, the groin muscles, insides of the thighs. And let's take 3 more big, deep breaths here. In through the nose. And exhaling back out through the nose, trying to make those breaths a little bit longer, a little bit deeper. And if you have an intention you'd like to set for the next 25-ish minutes or so, you can do so now. Maybe that intention is to focus on syncing breath with movement, or maybe it's something more simple. Or maybe you just focus on feeling some positivity today. On your next inhale, gently starting to lift the head, reaching through the crown of the head, sliding the hands a little bit closer, and we're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, walking hands over to your left. And really pressing through that right palm, stretching through the right side body. And so really pressing those sit bones back to the heels, especially on that right side. Maybe even dropping left ear over towards left shoulder. Breathing into that right side body. And on your next inhale, pressing up through the palms, walking hands slowly through center. Exhaling hands over to your right. Really reaching and lengthening, and then exhaling to sink into that stretch, and then into that left side body. Wrapping that left shoulder blade down and around the back of the body. Breathing to the left side, all the way down into that left hip. Right ear can drop over towards right shoulder, keeping the neck long. Focusing on that deep breath. On your next inhale, you're pressing through the palms, slowly walking yourself back up to center. And we're just going to heel ourselves up to the tabletop, stacking shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, fingers are evenly spread. And then inhale, thread that chest up through the arms, waking up the spine, and noticing that the back's feeling a bit tight today. Exhaling into your cat pose, really pressing through the palms, spreading the shoulder blades, inhaling back through cow, sending the gaze slightly forward, but not cranking the neck back. Exhaling into your cat, crown of the head and tailbone just hang heavy. Inhaling, threading that chest through one more time into your cow pose. Try to remember to lead these poses with the chest. The rest of the body just falls in line. Exhale, cat. And on your next inhale, coming back to a neutral spine. And we're just going to slowly start to wake the hips up a little bit. Maybe not doing sun salutations to warm up. Maybe we'll switch it up. Inhale, set that left foot up through between the hands. Coming into a low lunge. For now, we'll just keep maybe the fingertips or the palms if they reach. But I prefer fingertips down on the mat. And we're just shifting weight forward here, stacking that left knee over the left ankle, really dropping that frontal right hip bone down towards the mat, and pulling the chest forward. Noticing how those hip flexors feel this morning. I do not feel good. And then we're going to switch back into a runner's stretch here, or half monkey. Gently peeling those left toes up to the ceiling, finding a nice big drag motion in that left heel. So we're pressing that heel down and pulling back towards us while softening that left knee. Gently pulling right hip forward. You can stay on the fingertips, maybe walk them up a little bit. And you might notice that the hamstrings are a bit tighter than the hips, so maybe they're both really tight. Inhaling back forward into that lunge position, but this time we're going to bring the hands up onto the thigh, lifting the chest, really pulling that right hip forward, and then when you're ready, inhale, send those arms up overhead. Again, creating that space underneath the armpits. Really focusing on that right hip here. One more deep breath, really extend through those fingers. And exhale, send the hands down to frame. The left foot tucking the right toes. We're going to lift that back knee. And maybe really looking at Dylan here. Trying to keep that hip in line with the rest of the body. We're not dropping it super low. We're lifting that right hip really high. And then really planting that right palm into the mat under your right shoulder. We're going to lift the left hand on top of that left thigh. Exhale, slowly turning the torso, the chest over to the left side. Opening up into a little twist here. If you'd like, you can send that left arm up towards the ceiling, opening the palm to the left side. Standing strong through that right leg, also right hip. And on your next exhale, slowly closing off out of that twist. Sending the gaze forward. You're going to come up onto the ball, that right foot even more. And step it up to meet the left foot. Inhaling to halfway lift, hands into the shins. Really lengthen through the spine. And exhale, your first forward fold. Notice how that feels this morning. Really pressing through the feet here. Lift the hips and sit bones. Softening the knees or bending them as much as you need to. Maybe so much that the torso meets the thighs. And on your next deep breath, really press those feet. Engage through the legs, slowly roll it up. One vertebra at a time. Head and arms just hang heavy as you come up to standing. On your next inhale, send those arms out and up overhead, sending the gaze up. And then exhale, we're going to swan dive some arms out and down to the sides, coming back to that forward fold, drop the head. Inhale, halfway lift. Trying to lengthen the spine. Exhale, planting the palms down on the mat. And then we're going to step left foot back. Slowly lower into the left knee. Sorry, I got tricky on you. I get tired of doing the sun salutation vinyasa every time. So lowering down into that lunge, opening up into the left hip flexor, pulling chest forward. Noticing if that right hip is really jutting forward. I'm going to pull it back, really squaring, leveling off the hips. And just focusing on sinking into that left hip flexor, front of the hip. Maybe coming back to your breath here. And also noticing if your torso is just dropping down onto the thigh. We're going to use the core a little bit here to lift out of that. On your next exhale, slowly, if you'd like to tuck the left toes here, you can for a little more stability. Slowly sending those hips back, hovering over that back heel as you lift the right toes up to face the ceiling. Again, really finding that big drag motion here so that we get the full stretch through that right leg. Just breathing into the back of the leg. You might notice one side feels pretty different than the other. Especially as we stretch into the hips, you'll notice the sides are very different. And inhale, slowly coming back into that low lunge. Back toes can stay tucked if you'd like, or untucking. Bringing the hands up onto the right thigh. Finding that bone stack here, right knees over the right ankle. Lift the chest and inhale, send those arms up overhead. Really sinking into your hips here. Connecting the mind to your muscles. One more big deep breath, really extend through the fingers. And exhale, send those hands down to frame the right foot. And then tucking left toes, slowly peeling that knee up off of the mat. Left palm plants right under that left shoulder. And when you're ready, right hand comes up to the right thigh. Dropping that frontal left hip bone down towards the floor. And when you're ready, opening chest to the right. And that same thing, same idea here. We don't want the torso, like when I said the torso is maybe dropping down to the thigh. We don't want that here, but we also really don't want to use that left arm only and dump into it, so really lift out from the body. If it's on the other side, you can inhale that right arm up, stacking the shoulders. Keep those hips nice and in line here with the rest of the body. One more big deep breath. Exhale, slowly coming out of that twist. Bring the right palm down. Gaze comes forward. Maybe finding some buoyancy in that back foot. And then step it up to meet the right. Inhaling to halfway lift. Hands to the shins. Really lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. And this time maybe coming into a ragdoll here. So grabbing opposite elbows overhead. If you'd like, maybe toe heel the feet a little wider than hip width. Bending into the knees as much as you'd like. Find a gentle sway side to side or front to back. Really pressing through the feet, allowing the upper body to release. And then coming back to center. Stopping that swaying motion, dropping hands, fingers to the mat. And if the feet are a little wider, bring them back to hip width. Pressing through those feet. Inhale, reverse swan dive. So arms reach out and up, lifting with a flat back. Palms meet at heart center. And then exhale, dropping hands back to the sides. Inhale, send them out and up once again, really lengthening. Maybe taking the gaze up. Exhale, swan dive down. Nice flat back. Coming into a forward fold. Inhaling to halfway lift. Really press those sit bones back. Exhale, plant the palms. And now we're going into a plank pose. Stepping into your high plank, maybe modified, dropping to the knees if you like. Really pressing through the palms wherever you are. Using the core here, pulling navel towards spine. Gaze is slightly forward. And on your next exhale, lowering nice and slow. Elbows hug the ribs. All the way down. And then untucking the toes and come to the tops of the feet. On your next inhale, heeling up, shoulders, chest, neck, and head. Just a little baby cobra to start. Exhaling to lower. Exhaling back down. And then tucking the toes, pressing up through hands and knees back into your first downward facing dog. So in this first down dog, or really any downward dog you'd like, finding any movements that feel best. So as Dylan's doing here, you can pedal out the heels, maybe shift the hips around side to side. This mic keeps moving. Noticing where Dylan's hips are, we're really pressing everything up and back, lifting hips and sit bones up towards, I sometimes like to say like where the ceiling and the wall meet. Keeping that little core engagement, pulling navel towards the spine here, lifting out through the back of the body. And we'll take 2 more big deep breaths here. I always like to say that when as teachers say down dog is a resting pose, we're just kidding. We're very active here in down dog. So if at any time you need a rest, you can drop down into a child's pose. But over time, maybe that downward dog becomes more of a resting pose. One more big deep breath. I think I already said that, but just kidding. So as you hold that downward dog, maybe noticing where the body's feeling a little fatigued, where it might be feeling that down dog. On your next inhale, we're going to send the gaze forward, up between the hands, lift up high with the balls of the feet, and take little baby steps up. All the way to the hands. Inhaling your halfway lift once again. Exhaling back into your fold. Really lifting through the hips. And then inhale, reverse swan dive, coming back to standing, lifting those arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands through heart center. Maybe closing the eyes for a moment, just recentering, finding your breath and your balance. So coming into just a tiny bit of balance work to come to a standing pose. So inhale, blinking eyes open, dropping hands to the hips. We're going to come into warrior 1, which is not my favorite of the warriors, so it means you should do it more. Bringing the weight over to the left foot. You're going to come up onto the ball of the right. And then inhale, lift that knee up in line with the hip. Keeping the gaze forward. Core engaged. And then slowly start to tilt the torso forward, sending that right knee back, nice and controlled, nice and slow. Stepping that right foot back. And lowering the heel, lifting the chest. So we're turning the toes out about 45 degrees, kind of up towards the right upper corner of the mat. It takes a lot of shifting for me to come into this pose. So just adjusting the feet how you'd like, bending into that left knee. Hands can stay on the hips to start, and really focus on pulling that right hip forward. So looking at Dylan here. This right hip is going to want to come back, kind of at a diagonal. Try and pull it forward, pressing to the outer edge of the foot. Stacking that left knee over the ankle. And hands can stay at the hips or inhale, send those arms up overhead. And since focus is on hips today, really noticing how this pose feels in that right hip. Or maybe in the left. Maybe both. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale. Bringing those hands down to frame that front foot. Slowly pivot back onto the ball of the right foot. And then we're going to toe heel that left foot over to the right. Right side. Walking it out and slowly lower that left knee out to the side. Scooting that right leg back, coming into a pigeon pose. So, making sure that left knee is out to the side of the mat more so than your left hip. Inhaling to lengthen. Option to stay in an active pigeon here with the chest lifted. Typically no one ever chooses to stay there. On your next exhale, if you'd like And slowly lower maybe to the forearms. Really pressing the weight back into the hips. So noticing if you're kind of dumping all the weight forward as you recline. You want to press back, keep pigeon in the hips. Which, I mean, you'll always feel it in the hips. But we want to feel it as much as we can. Without it being painful. So finding your edge where you feel this pose. Where you can breathe into it. And maybe with each exhale, you allow that left hip to release. Really focusing on rolling that frontal right hip bone down towards the mat. So that the hips stay nice and leveled. On your next inhale, we're going to walk up, so if we're fully reclined here, we're going to walk up just a little bit, and then send the hands over to your right side, keeping the hips and the legs exactly where they are. Really press at that left palm as we did in the beginning, and slowly lower torso. Notice how that changes the stretch. Breathing into that left side, all the way down the side body into the outside of that left hip with a piriformis. It's that outer muscle and the outside of the glute into the hip that really feels in pigeon. On your next inhale, pressing the palms, lifting the torso, walking hands back to center. And then we're going to walk back into that more active pigeon. Shifting weight over to the left side, we're going to send that right leg around. You look like you were dancing. It's very smooth. So we're going to come into Janu Shirshasana. I never know if I'm actually pronouncing that right. Head of the knee. So bringing the left foot to the inside of the right leg. Square the torso up over that right leg. Inhale, lengthen through the chest, the spine. On your exhale, you're just crawling the fingers forward. Really working to hinge through the hips here. So maybe looking at Dylan's hips. The pelvis is tilted forward. His sit bones are pressing back to the wall behind him. And he's not folding so far that his back is starting to round. Stay nice and long here through the spine. And listening to your body, if you need to bend that right knee, maybe so much that the torso meets the thigh, then do so. Inhale, start to slide those hands back, press yourself back up. We're going to move into a stargazer, so I always have to do this from Janu. So we're going to swing that left arm back to the outside of the left hip, pressing into that left knee, left shin. Slowly lift yourself, lowering the right foot down to the mat. Right arm reaches up and over, find a nice big full body stretch. Maybe send the gaze up. And exhale, slowly coming back down to seated. And then lifting that left knee, we're going to cross at the ankles. Rolling forward, step back to your plank pose. It's a fun, fancy transition. Exhale, slowly lowering that chaturanga. Inhale into a full cobra, pressing tops of the feet down into that lift in the chest. Exhale to lower, pressing back to downward facing dog. Really lifting those hips up and back. Inhale and gaze forward, take a big step up with each foot. Inhaling to halfway lift, lengthen out the spine here. Exhaling to fold, pressing the feet. And then inhale, reverse swan dive. Arms reach out and up, palms meet overhead. And then exhaling, hands down to the hips. Switching to the other side, we're going to transition. We're going to, what's the word? Bring weight into the right foot, come up onto the left. send that left knee up in line with the hip. Finding your balance here, not locking that right knee. And then with control, slowly start to send that left leg back. Easier said than done. Turning left foot out, 45 degrees as you bend into that right knee. Again, adjusting the feet as you need to before sinking into your warrior one. Really pulling right hip back, left hip forward. So you might find this pose feels super uncomfortable on both sides. Or maybe one side just feels a little more off than the other. So the hands can stay here at the hips, or inhale, send them up overhead. Continue to press into that outer edge of the left foot so strongly. Big deep breath in through the nose, extending through the hands, the fingers. Exhale, send the hands forward. Bringing hands to frame that front foot. Pivoting back over the ball of the left foot. We're going to just toe heel right foot across. Coming to pigeon on the other side. Lowering the outside of the right knee down. Really stretching that left leg out long. Maybe taking a peek back at that left leg. Making sure the foot isn't sickling in awkwardly. And just bringing that right foot as close to the body as you'd like. It doesn't have to be parallel to the front of the mat, unless the hips are feeling super open today. Really trying to level hips off, inhale to lengthen. Option to stay in that active pigeon for as long as you'd like. Or exhale, slowly walk yourself out. Maybe stopping at the forearms. Arms can walk all the way out overhead, or maybe you send the elbows out to the sides, creating a little pillow for yourself by stacking the hands. And just breathing into that right hip, right side. On your next inhale, lifting up just a little bit so we can walk hands over to the left, really pressing with that right palm, right side body. Noticing how this side differs from the other. One more big deep breath here. Really breathing into that right side. Exhaling, allowing it to release and soften. And your next inhale brings you back up, walking hands through center. Shifting weight to that right side, swinging left leg around into that Janu. Bringing the right foot to the inside of the thigh. Inhaling to lengthen. As you exhale, send that torso out over the left leg. Coming into your fold. And noticing if that right shoulder is kind of trying to lift up towards the ceiling. You want to pull that shoulder down so that the shoulders are squared and level. One more big deep breath here. Inhale, pressing through the palms, lifting back out. We're going to swing that right arm back behind the right hip, pressing into the right, not thigh, the right shin, right knee to lift, left leg goes long. Send that left arm up overhead. Nice full body stretch. Sending the gaze up and back. And exhale, slowly coming back down. You're going to send both legs forward, bending the knees, shifting hips forward, and walking yourself down to the back. Bringing the soles of the feet to touch, sending the knees out to the sides, coming to Supta Baddha Konasana. Letting the arms rest out at the sides. class is that if I go over, it's okay, I'll tell you to do Shavasana at home. You just lie here for as long as you'd like, taking a deep breath into the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Allowing the knees to grow heavier with each breath. So at home, I do encourage you to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like, as long as is comfortable in your body, as long as your body is asking for it. Or you can come up to seated now, slowly waking the body back up. And thank you all so much for sharing our practice there at home. You have a lovely Monday, rest of the week. Namaste.